clap once. Kindergarten, I'm so impressed with you guys. You guys all got quiet really quick. I'm really proud of you. Man, give yourselves a round of applause. All right. So I'm wondering who would have their listening ears on the play and heard the first graders at the end of the last assembly? Could anyone hear them? Oh man. So at the end, we're going to have a challenge for you, and the challenge is that you guys are going to have to be louder than them when we do that, but we'll give you more instructions when we get there. But that's Mr. Warner and my favorite part of the whole assembly is at the end when we show our Raider pride. But I wanted to thank those parents that came out in person. We knew it was a busy week, so we also offered it via Microsoft Teams. So thank you to Mr. Curl for helping us out, live casting us so the parents can watch from the comfort of their house or their office. All right, so you can turn around, you can give a wave up to Mr. Curl and all the parents that are watching on the computer. All right, so now we can direct our attention back up to the front. So we want to thank those parents for coming, joining us via live stream, and those parents that came in. We certainly couldn't do what we do, and the students here couldn't have the successes that they had without your support, so we certainly appreciate that. We know it's a busy week, so that's why we offered it via live stream, because a lot of parents are already planning on coming in tomorrow to have lunch. So we figured we couldn't live stream lunch, and we want the parents to come in, so we would just live stream this. That way they could celebrate with us. They can watch it, can tell you about it when you get home. And I think we'll be posting, I think we can post the video afterwards. So if parents were at work and they didn't have a chance to see it, you can watch it with your parents later, all right? So we have a bunch of awards. There's some awards that you'll get that are just an award. We have the most improved award, you'll get the award and a pencil. Then we have perfect attendance and nearly perfect attendance. For those awards, you're going to get just the pencil when you come up. We'll give the teachers the awards, that way you don't have to shuffle and hold too many awards and pencils and all of that good stuff. So you'll just get a pencil with that one. Then we have a couple of awards. We have reading achievement awards, and we have IXL or math awards. We have related arts awards and caring student awards. Those awards will not have a pencil with them, so you'll get the award to hold when you come off the stage. Your teachers may collect the awards. It's really up to them, but sometimes the teachers collect them and they'll just give them back to you when you get back to class. That way they don't get all crumbled up or messed up, or you don't lose the pencils. So, all right. I think that's everything, right? Oh, no, yeah. Look, you guys haven't done, you probably have in your classroom, but we'll start the awards assembly with the Pledge of Allegiance and the school pledge, so please stand. The flag is next to Mr. Warner up here. Hands over our hearts, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. I am somebody, I will succeed. In school and life, I will achieve. Let's join together to work and share. Let's show the world we can. At Woodbridge GCEC, we are a team. At Woodbridge GCEC, we will reach our dreams. Very good job.
All right, kindergarten. So this is only my second award ceremony. My first one was first grade, right before you guys. So if I mispronounce your name, I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to do my best. All right, so we're going to start with our most improved awards, and we'll go by class. So from Miss Curl's class, we have Elvin Gonzalez Salguero and Charlotte Countryman. Come on up. From Miss Mitchell's class, we have Jackson Matt and Zadie Westcott. From Miss Bennett's class, we have Tyson Graham and Elisa Willis. From Miss Miles' class, we have Makai Griffin and Adriana Byers. From Miss Ramey's class, we have Randy Gonzalez Ramirez and Carolina Fernandez Gaspar. And from Miss Wilson's class, we have Ezra Hurd and Melania Perkins. From Miss Rick's class, we have Abner Valdiva Martin and Gloria Hashins. From Miss Cruz's class, we have Lincoln Lewin and Emily Williams. From Miss Copp's class, we have Wesley Fox. And from Miss Ferris's class, we have Davion Massey. While Mr. Sears is finishing up giving out the certificates and pencils, let's give our most improved students a great big round of applause. I skipped the class, sorry. From Ms. Villog and Ms. Samansky's class, we have Adam Jimenez and Adriana Scott. I'm still getting used to these new glasses.
Make sure the heat was turned on to that.
All right, everybody's looking at Mr. Sears for a big smile for a picture.
Hold the certificates up and not in front of our faces, and we are going not. Put it below your chin. There you go. And we're gonna say cheese on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Good job.
All right, thank you. You guys can start heading back to your seats. Yep, we're gonna go right down the steps. While they're making their way back to their seats, I'll let you know the next awards are going to be for perfect attendance. So these are students who have not missed any days the first marking period. I will also call these students by class. And we'll start with Miss Wilson's homeroom. We have Mackenzie Carroll, Giovanni Perkins, Raylan Peterman, and Juliet Oracle. From Miss Ramey's class, we have Angel Chilel Gomez, Colton Rourke, and Emmy Wilson. From Miss Rick's class, we have Ariel Campbell, Gloria Hoskins, Albert Lopez Diaz, Alexander Miller, Autumn Palace, Pariah Richards, and Catalia Snowden. From Miss Cruz's class, we have Jeremiah Orley and Zadie Rhodes. From Miss Miles' class, we have Adriana Byers, Miles Carter, Journey Davis, Allie King, and Alan Tovar. From Miss Bill Logan of Semantics class, we have Elliot Henry, Dewan Johnson Jr. From Miss Bennett's class, we have Mia Dale, Evangeline Gonzalez Perez, Amaria Jackson, Jonathan Niz Gomez, Evelyn Sorrow, Jason Smith. I'm sorry, this is Mitchell's class. Evelyn Sorrow, Jason Smith, Lucas Belliers, and Ryan Thornton. From Miss Curl's class, we have Santiago Bordeaux Ruiz, Jerry Campbell, Charlotte Countryman, and Isabella Lorenzo. And from Miss Ferris's class, we have Lori Warrington. All right, let's give our perfect attendance students a big round of applause. We certainly recognize it's not easy to make sure you're here every single day.
Awesome job.
Big smiles, guys.
All right, big smiles, because you're lucky and you're healthy. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Good job.
All right. You guys can head to your seats. Thank you. So the next awards are going to be going to what we call our nearly perfect attendance. So we're looking at students that have missed less than 3 days of school in the first marking period. And that's what we call an on-track attendance. So this list I won't be calling by homeroom, so please listen carefully for your names. First up, we have Jackson Mack, Rebecca Pierre, Charles Smith, Lexton Alcantara, Emma Breeze, Danette Conway, Randy Gonzalez Ramirez, Catherine Mejia Cohill, Olivia Pitchen, Rhett Richards, Jaden Salmeron, Serenity Warner, Emilise Williams, Charles Abbott Jr., Carter Anderson, Jason Bordeaux Ventura, Kelsey Bradford, Quinn Breeding, John Butler, Anare Church, Weston Culver, Josiah Deputy, Liam Eckert, Liam Fairley, Wesley Fox, Alex Guerrero Dominguez, Brian Gustin, Carolina Hernandez Gaspar, Jordan King Jr., Bradley Lopez Gonzalez, Mayra Mendez, Ning Miguel Perez, Elizabeth Neal, Genesis Ortiz Perez, Melania Perkins, Jonalette Ramirez Agostini, Adeline Stiegler, Emmy Stoltz, Elisa Tellez Bustos, Robert Thomas, Abner Valdiva Martin, Shaylee Velasquez Sante, Ian Velasquez Soto, Jaleel Vessels, and Brooks Vickers. Yeah, let's give those guys a round of applause.
All right, friends. Let's say pizza on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, good job.
All right, nice work, guys. You can get on back to your seats. While they're making their way back, I will let you know what the next award is going to be. So the next two awards are for the most growth in both our reading programs as well as our math programs. So for kindergarten, for reading, it is letter recognition and sound identification. And then for math, it is our IXL awards for students who have made the most growth in our IXL math program. All right, from Miss Ramey's class, we have Brooks Eldridge. And from Miss Wilson's class, Giovanni Perkins. From Miss Bennett's class, we have Kyson Graham. From Miss Miles' class, we have Chase Moore. Next up, from Miss Ritt's class, we have Alexander Miller. And from Miss Cruz's class, we have Zadie Rhodes. From Miss Kopp's class, we have Wesley Fox. From Miss Ferris's class, we have Liam Eckert. From Miss Billog and Miss Demancey's class, we have Kelsey Bradford and Quincy Williams Bullock. From Miss Mitchell's homeroom, we have Zadie Westcott and Evelyn Sorrow. And finally, from Miss Curl's class, we have Jerry Campbell and Dean Sears. All right, let's give all them a big round of applause.
All right, we're going to say pickles on 3. 1. Liam. Say pizza. 1, 2, 3.
All right, you guys can start heading back to your seats. So as I said before, our next awards for math, which is IXL awards, and I will be calling students from each class, but I will also let you know which class had the most growth as a whole. So for IXL, from Miss Bennett's class, we have Josiah Deputy. From Miss Miles' class, we have Chase Moore. From Miss Pearl's class, we have Octavia Danielson. From Miss Mitchell's class, we have Liam Farrelly. From Miss Billog and Miss Samancy's class, we have Janet Ramirez Agostini. From Miss Cruz's class, we have Brooks Biggers. From Miss Ritt's class, we have Gloria Hoskins. From Miss Ramey's class, we have Randy Gonzalez Ramirez. From Miss Wilson's class, we have Tanner Messick. And Miss Wilson's class was the top class growth for kindergarten for the first marking period. From Miss Pop's class, we have Renato Reyna. And from Miss Ferris's class, we have Jalea Capel. All right, let's give our IXL award winners a great big round of applause.
All right, all my IXL geniuses, ready? All right, let's see Pickles on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, you can head back to your seats. While they're heading back, our next awards are going to go to students who were nominated by our related arts teachers as excelling in their particular area. So students who were nominated by Mr. C in PE, Mr. Jolly in music, Ms. Letnoff in art, Ms. Lee in the library, and Ms. Cathcart in the computer lab. So we'll start off with our computer awards from Ms. Cathcart. Those students are from Miss Curl's homeroom, Jerry Campbell, and Miss Ritt's homeroom, Rhett Richards. Our music awards from Mr. Jolly go to, from Miss Bennett's homeroom, Mia Dale, and from Miss Wilson's homeroom, Namy Miguel Perez. Our library awards from Miss Lee go to, from Miss Miles' homeroom, Leo Zepeda, and from Miss Cruz's homeroom, Odell Watkins. Our PE awards from Mr. C go to, from Miss Mitchell's homeroom, Louis Spelius, and from Miss Ramey's homeroom, Inaka Boots. Annika. And the art awards for Miss Letnoff go to, in Miss Mitchell's homeroom, Octavio Danielson, and from Miss Ritt's homeroom, Maisie Chandler. Award from Miss Ferris's homeroom for library, Lori Warrington. All right, let's give them a great big round of applause.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
All right, you guys can head back to your seats. While they're heading back, our next and final awards are for caring behaviors. And I'm going to introduce Ms. Moore, our school counselor, to share a little bit more about what our caring behaviors are.
Right. Good morning, boys and girls. Right. So we should know a little bit about our caring behaviors because we've been getting some caring coupons, right? But our parents at home and who are here need to know what our caring behaviors stand for. So we have 4 caring behaviors. We have C that stands for courtesy. What does it stand for? We have A that stands for attitude. What does it stand for? The R, which stands for responsibility. What does it stand for? And the E that stands for excellence. What does it stand for? So each of your teachers have chosen somebody in your class that has displayed each of these caring behaviors, and you're going to come up and get your award. For courtesy in Mrs. Pearl's class, we have Trace Steele. In Mrs. Mitchell's class, we have Jackson Mack. In Miss Bennett's class, we have Eliza Willis. In Mrs. Miles' class, we have William Cobbs. In Mrs. Rainey's class, we have Inaka Books. In Mrs. Wilson's class, we have Connor Redner. In Mrs. Ridd's class, we have Gloria Houchins. Mrs. Cruz's class, we have Adiana Wilkins. Mrs. Bill and Samantha's class, we have Kusabi Nichols. And in Mrs. Fair's class, we have Talia Capel. For attitude, in Mrs. Curl's class, we have Dean Sears. In Mrs. class, we have Zadie Westcott. In Mrs. Bennett's class, we have Robert Thomas. In Mrs. Miles' class, we have Adriana Byers. In Mrs. Rainey's class, we have Emmy Wilson. In Mrs. Wilson's class, we have Amelia Endicott. In Mrs. Ritt's class, we have Autumn Alice. In Mrs. Cruz's class, we have Emma Breeze. In Mrs. Bill and Samantha's class, we have Rafael Garcia. And in Mrs. Ferris's class, we have Lori Warrington. For responsibility, in Mrs. Pearl's class, we have Quinn Breeding. In Mrs. Mitchell's class, we have Adeline Sorrow. In Mrs. Bennett's class, we have Isabella Sanders. In Mrs. Miles' class, we have Chase Moore. In Mrs. Rainey's class, we have Lizzie Neal. In Mrs. Wilson's class, we have Amara Stites. In Mrs. Rick's class, we have Catalina Snellen. In Mrs. Cruz's class, we have Tyler Thomas. In Mrs. Bill Samanci's class, we have Kelsey Bradford. In Mrs. Fair's class, we have Davion Mackey. And for excellence, in Mrs. Pearl's class, we have Isabella Lorenzo. In Mrs. Mitchell's class, we have Alicia Tellez Bustos. In Mrs. Bennett's class, we have Mia Dale. In Mrs. Rainey's class, we have Noelle Stevens. In Mrs. Wilson's class, we have Naomi Miguel Perez. In Mrs. Rick's class, we have Rhett Richards. Mrs. Cruz's class, we have Denaya Pinder. Mrs. Bill Comanche's class, we have Josiah Riddick. And in Mrs. Fair's class, we have Liam Eckert. So these are all of our students have displayed our caring behaviors. Let's give everyone a round of applause.
Courtesy on three. All right, courtesy on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, nice job. You guys can head on back to your seats.
If you're sitting, if you can hear my voice, grab your ear. Can you hear my voice? Close your eyes. Boys and girls that are going back to your seats, voices off. All right, if you can hear my voice, clap once. Just a reminder, as we started to finish up those awards, some of the talking that was in the auditorium was louder. We couldn't hear Miss Moore say some of those names. We have to make sure that we're practicing good etiquette when we're in here, whenever we're watching something in here, or people are getting awards. We have to make sure our voices are off, our ears are on, we're listening and paying attention. And we're listening, especially in this case, for our name, right? If we don't hear our name called, then we're not going to know to go up on stage. So just a reminder, we'll remind you of that next time, all right? Now, I wanted to, again, thank the parents that came in person. Those that attended virtually, we certainly appreciate you attending as well. This will be made available, the recording will be made available for people to watch at a later date as well. So, congratulations to all of our award winners. Boys and girls, if you did not receive an award today, then be working hard in IXL, be working hard in Lexia when the teacher leaves you to do that on the computer. Those are ways to earn awards. Coming to school each day is also another way to earn an award. We understand that it's very hard to come in every single day because sometimes you might be sick, so that's why we have the nearly perfect attendance award, right? Those boys and girls that are attending and may miss 1 or 2 or 3 days will get that nearly perfect attendance award. So we have to finish up our assembly now, and we're going to finish like we will finish all assemblies here at Woodbridge ECEC. So over your next 3 years, whenever we come in here for an assembly before we leave, we have one ritual that we always do. And if you've ever looked up on the wall, outside of the auditorium, on the wall, when you're out in that main hallway, there's a section of it that says, "We are and Woodbridge," right? It says, "We are ... Woodbridge." And that's important. We're all Woodbridge Raiders here. And you will always be a Raider once you come to Woodbridge ECEC. So we finish by showing our Raider pride, and we do our "We Are Woodbridge" cheer or chant. Here's how it goes. This side of the auditorium is going to be "We Are." Right? Can everyone over here say "We Are"? All right. And then this side of the auditorium is going to be "Woodbridge." All right. Can you say it for me? Woodbridge. All right. So here's where it gets a little difficult. All right, boys and girls, we only do it 3 times. So this group would say, "We are," and then Woodbridge. "We are Woodbridge. We are Woodbridge," and then we stop. Sometimes we get carried away, and some people want to do extra. We can't do any extra, okay? Now, you guys were sitting in the hallway waiting for this assembly to start, and you heard the first graders, right? Give me a thumbs up if you heard the first graders. And I told them, make sure that the people pumping gas over at Royal Farms, or the people, Chief Thomas at our police station in the town of Greenwood, he can hear you, all right? So we got to be nice and loud. All right, you think they're ready for the challenge? All right. So we're going to do it whispering first to practice. You ready? Because we talk about this a lot in the cafeteria, whispering. Whispering sounds like this. Right? And then for over here, the whispering would sound like this. All right? So let's practice it whispering. You ready? All right, that's pretty good. Now we're going to be as loud as we can be. You ready? Everybody ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready over here. Give me a thumbs up ready over here. All right, we're ready to go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job. We aren't screaming, right? We're saying we are Woodbridge. Excellent job. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, so parents, thank you for coming. We certainly appreciate it. Couldn't do this without your support. We're going to send kiddos back to class, so if you want to sneak out before they go out, you're more than welcome to. Virtually, thank you for coming.